on our set. Of course, I must say this, that having this opportunity with him had actually taken us a whole lot of processes, so to say. But we are happy that we are able to have him on our set today. I have the distinction of introducing to you Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim, the Araba of Ikale Land.
Thank you very much, people.
I will go straight away to the question. You are a businessman of international repute. I'd like to ask, how does business look like in this troubling time of coronavirus pandemic?
Well, business people do make profit during crisis. So mostly, it's a crisis that presents opportunity. And what is business? Business is about making opportunity a chaotic situation. So for me, we might not make the cash the way it stands, but we've invested the time created by coronavirus to build a university, and that's indelible. Give us much time to supervise, much time to run, much time to plan, much time to conceptualize, much time to deconceptualize and reconceptualize. So mostly, it's just a journey that we're learning, and that's perhaps the good side of the coronavirus. Business is about making opportunities in a chaotic situation.
So, from your perspective, you want to say that the coronavirus pandemic had actually presented an opportunity to action?
Oh, absolutely! It presented a great opportunity for people to do their business. Well, to some people, in a normal cough, they would feel pain, they stay at home, they don't go beyond that. But for those who think beyond the box, outside the box, you used to say, they begin to look at how do I make money, how do I create opportunity, a lifetime opportunity, if I'm asked to stay at home for about 2 months. And that's a very, that's the distinction between the act of making money, or the simplicity of money making, and then of course the gentry, traditional trajectory of walking to no end.
Thank you very much, sir. I am still on the challenge that the pandemic seems to have posed to the economy. So do you see Nigeria diving into another bout of recession?
There's a distinction between Nigeria going to financial dangerous lane, going to recession, and going to depression. And I think people are missing those three points. So when you are going to financial dangerous lane, it means that the dependable commodity like oil that you depend on is lighting in the international market. So you probably go from $42 to $1, $3, and all that. And your cost of production remains constant at that $3. So you make a net loss about $20, $29, thereabout. So obviously you are in a financial dangerous lane. It does not mean that you are in a recession. Recession means that you got a negative return of figure from Bureau of Statistics on the economic index, continuously for 3 quarters. And that means that quarter 1 is economic is contracting, quarter 2 is contracting, quarter 3 is contracting. You are in a recession. Depression is that everything is contracting, and a negative figure continue to reoccur continuously, and then of course that's the end. And that means you are in a depression. You remember the Great Depression in 1930, when the US went into a Great Depression, or the depression of the whole entire world, I guess, went in that period. So obviously, this is kind of an example that you talk about. But for Nigeria specifically, I think because the Bureau of Public Statistics is returning, a negative figure of contracting economy between negative 3.5 or thereabouts on quarterly basis means or signifies that the economy is in recession. But to me, I don't really think so. I think the economy is at financial dangerous rather than recession. Dangerous in the sense that one of the major commodities we depend on oil is oscillating, galloping in the international market, and if for nothing, the graph is going down below the bottom block to negativity, and that creates challenge because about 80% of government dependency on revenue. But that's not the end of the world. There are a lot of things you can create, that in itself is an opportunity for you to actually make money.
I actually want to come back to that straight away. That how, sir, do you think we could mitigate the economic challenge posed by COVID-19?
Well, the COVID-19 hadn't created any economic challenge. Shut it down for 2 weeks. It's not 2, 3, 1, even 1, 2 months. It's not a big deal.
It's getting to 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah, what you lose in 2 months is that you don't get like taxes, and then of course the company are shut down. And you don't have revenue. That's taxes. You don't have the revenue coming from the dependable, the major dependent, which is components of the economic commodity, which is oil. So mostly that is challenging. But COVID-19 is not the one that depressed the price of oil. That. That is an international mechanism by which the demand and supply operates. In terms of mitigating the effects, of course, government releases palliative measures. Government itself is broke. And how do you release palliative measures when obviously you are not comfortable, you are not wishing to do that? I see some billionaires saying, I donate 1 billion, I donate 3 billion. The government never received the cash. So obviously people have good intention, but it's not materializing to the monetary term. So Nigeria needs to rethink our strategy, needs to deconceptualise the present scenario, and then before we engage in it. Obviously we have conceptualized something that things are bad. Now we need to deconceptualize that things are bad, but we can make good of it. And what do we do? By piecing it down. Then you will reconceptualize by putting the pieces 1 or 2 together to create the one. We are borrowing more. $3.5 billion borrowed from abroad is quite a huge amount. But if you are not careful, the entire money goes to salary payments. Mostly the current expenditure and the capital project is just a big challenge there. It's not something that one meeting can really resolve. I think we need to go to strategic room. This is about strategy. And I think I wrote something about this in my MBA thesis in Cambridge in 2017, which about the distinction, about the impact of the dwelling prices of oil, between 2015 and 2017. I examined that. And the foreign investment came down from $17 billion to $800 million. So that was a big challenge, and we really have to do a lot for that. But we need to engage strategy. We need to engage goodwill. We need to engage social capital network. We need to put things together to be able to come up with a fantastic solution.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to move a little bit down here now. I'd like to ask Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim, what informed your establishment of the University of Fortune in your country?
Those who knows me knows I'm biased about education. After God, I see education. Knowledge is the driver of destiny. So if you are not educated, you are illiterate. And then of course, if you have opportunity to be educated and you don't want to appreciate knowledge, you are a fool. So obviously to me, I don't want to produce many foods in the community, in the society, in Nigeria. We have many people who are sitting down, they don't have value for knowledge, they don't, when you are reading, they move around like idiots. The key point here is that knowledge is the driver of destiny. We suffer today because of what we don't know. If we know those things, we will not be on the streets suffering. So the ability to unlock what you don't know is education. So you look at it, there is what we call in business the non-risk and the unknown risk. The non-risk, you are from back where you came to do this interview. So obviously you need to know how to drive your car on the road. You need to buy petrol. If you don't have enough petrol or fuel in your car, you might be stranded. That's a non-risk. There could be accident on the road if you overtake trailers because the roads are not good. Those are non-risk. You need to concretize your appointment. Otherwise, you will not meet the person you are going to meet at home. You need to send text messages. Those are non-risk. The unknown risk is that the day set up for the interview may not happen. May not even come. You don't have control over unknown risk. There might be war, for instance, that vitiates your desire, to make a commitment at a particular point in time. But that is unknown risk. If you know those unknown risks, your life will never be the same again. The only way you can know on non-risk is by the locking, opening it, through what we call knowledge. Because it is knowledge that will tell you that, for instance, Nigeria produces about 8 million secondary school leavers every year out of about 200 million population. The university can only absorb 3-4 million people. So 4 million people that have WAEC, they don't have school to go because there is no capacity. You do know there's other capacity utilization in that regard. You do know that a good university might be a way to solve social challenge, create innovation, and create value chain, and then be able to create some good things in your value stream. So overall speaking, knowledge is a driver of the value stream. And some people live a life without a value stick. It amazes me how you run a life without a value stick. A value stick means like just a stick, and then you arrange the priority from the top to the bottom. So what did you put in your value stick? And if you don't have education, why you cannot arrange it? You become an identity, you become a big fool, it's a shame, it's idiotic. And that's why universities across the world had introduced online programs. I have over 4,000 workers. During the academic episode, I did send to them the website of the University of London and University of Oxford, Cambridge, doing online courses for free. And they will give you a certificate for those courses. And there are about, in the case of the University of London, there are about 80 courses that you can run online during this period. And I think one of our staff did that. They got us certificates, for the online program. I think she did something on the impact of legal matters on companies. Now, this is fantastic opportunity. So if you don't use knowledge, what will you use? Are you going to use the herbalist medicine? I don't even know what you want to do. Some says, praise the Lord. God doesn't appreciate people that don't have knowledge. The Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. It is knowledge that make people to fail. God says, they are my people, they were righteous before me. They should go straight to heaven. But I push them to hell and make them to faith first on that and go into comatose because they hate knowledge. So if you like knowledge, you are a friend of God, even in the midst of your sin. Because God has a way. God is not a Democrat, for instance. He's not going to judge me and you and give us same money at equivalent level. No, God is not the God of democracy. He's an autocratic God. He said, I will seat a king and raise a new one.
That's not democracy.
That's not democracy. I mean, a king already seated in his palace with all the hegemonic influence. He just suddenly brought down, by God. And one non-entity moving around the street is trained by the same God to become king. So obviously, it's this power of knowledge. He said, look, by knowledge, I ascribe to you as my son. I regulate your affairs. I take you as the apple of my eyes. I bless you with everything, and I forever don't even see your black side. But when you don't have knowledge and you are righteous, the Bible says, how many of you, if I count your iniquity, how many of you will be righteous in the forgiving of the righteous people? If you will raise up your hand to that, I kill you, because there is no righteous one among you, so you don't deceive yourself. But for knowledge, it's important. And I don't want to drive my people into the mud. I want the Ondo State people to be distinguished as they used to in that trajectory. The Yoruba people, the Yoruba race is committed to knowledge and education. And in Nigeria as a society, it can affect it. So I'm creating a university that will be an embodiment of knowledge, where knowledge is driven by destiny.
Thank you very much, sir. Besides that, we've been there. We have had an inside inspection of the university, and of course we are amazed by the level of work that is actually going on there. We were there at the groundbreaking ceremony about a month ago. I'd like to ask, what's your projection for the University of Repute?
Well, projection in what sense? Is it in commencement or in the bigger sense of what the mission is?
In the very big sense.
Well, in the big sense of it, it's going to be a unique university, completely different from what you are doing. You have degrees that are very strange. For instance, if you are coming to Fortune, you are coming to do some funny, interesting degrees like strategy and innovation, like statistics, like econometrics, like governments, BSc governments, like things like mega project management, war studies, war affairs, security matter. Nigeria is dotted with challenge of security right now. And of course, every region is threatening secession. Yoruba wants sovereignty within the midst of Amateko. And of course, you do know that the East wants secession. The North is talking about Majari and all that. All of these are security challenges. And the university is not awarding degree in security matters. So we are actually clueless about how to handle issues like this. And when we have a university like this, our graduates will be here to propose solutions to make sure that Nigeria doesn't break into pieces.
Thank you very much, sir. Talking still more about the University of Repute, we have the fears that this is an elitist structure that may not actually, factor the children of the whole. Talking about the school fees and stuff like that, is it going to accommodate
it's not about school fees.
Ordinary people?
It's not about school fees, and it's about school fees. But if you are exceptional, we will find money for you to pay your school fees. We have grants. I've been to Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, are degree holders in those universities. I didn't go for short-term courses. In most cases, I had distinction in my class, first class. So obviously, I know the university working institutions about how to get funding for poor students. And that will not be a problem. Money is not the reason why you will not attend coaching. But if you are not brilliant and you are not hard working to get to the brilliancy status, we have no business with you. I mean, we are not going to pamper you with 4 credits, 5 credits. Our university is not for that. So we are wanting a university, even if your father have the biggest money in the world, if you don't have your 6 credit at the city, you won't get that university. And you must pass the interview. So these are the basics, like Cambridge. Cambridge is not meant for the rich. Neither is it meant for the poor. The school fees is certain, you must pay. Once you get admission, you cannot pay, you apply for scholarship. And there are more than thousands of scholarships in the University of Cambridge where you can pick one. My colleagues in PhD class get £6,000 a month from Bill Gates scholarship. So I'll talk to Bill Gates. He will introduce the same scholarship in Fortune. Oxford, Cambridge are enjoying the same thing. So I go to Gates office, and then I will have a appointment with Bill Gates. And then if we meet the criteria, we'll see what we need to do to meet the criteria for Bill Gates scholarship. And then our PhD student will continue to be paid as much as 2-3 million naira a month, because the Cambridge will collect £6,000 a month, every month. So mostly that's something. So people doing PhD, about 300 of them in Cambridge every year, don't pay school fees. I opted to pay because I knew I can fund my application without gay assistance. But my colleagues get that salary. Again, there is teaching opportunity for PhD students who can make their money. And we want to have the same number of postgraduate students as the same number of undergraduate students. So we actually want to instill a lot, at the postgraduate level. And that is where we want to change life. We don't want to just give you certificate. We want something that impacts on your life and the life of the society.
I wanted to actually ask, considering those degrees you are planning to offer there, does it actually factor the economy of Nigeria in terms of job?
Of course, we have a degree on statistics with government, combined with government. So if you are going to finish your master's with us from first degree, second degree, and you are going to go to government, then government needs you. Government can't do anything without statistics. The reason why we are stranded today is because we don't have data. So the people that will give us data are statisticians. If you don't have them, forget about it, you will still remain stranded. So students coming to do BSc government and statistics are even more lucrative than those who come to study medicine. Because when they finish, the ministry pick them, automatically. Because this, if you ask Governor Akeredolu what's your major problem today, he will tell you data. We talk about epidemics. How many people in Ondo State have the symptom, the biological symptom of COVID-19? You don't have the number, you don't know. How many people have COVID-19? We don't know. How many people have the symptom? You don't know. Where is the hospital collecting data? You don't know. If it's as worse as that in Ondo State, it's terrible in Nigeria. So if you go to Buhari today and say, oh, Mr. President, can I know the number of people that have symptoms of COVID-19 in your country? What does he know about it? Even the health minister says he doesn't know that where the Chinese doctors are. They are just 10 people or 15. You don't know what they're worried about. So mostly, you don't have data. A new reconceptualized Nigeria that will work will start from data. And the statistics we have are just too few. So university offering degree on statistics and government will be darling. Now, electoral process, BSc, and electoral management. So who are the people in INEC today? How many of them have degree in electoral management? None. No. So they all have sociology, geography, and then they are writing from EC 17, compiling results, the elimination of constituency. What do you know about it? You know, you are not a professional in that regard. So we are creating degree on at master's level on electoral management. So INEC offices in 36 states of the federation, federal government. So the issue of I study philosophy. Who are you going to philosophize? We will use philosophy knowledge as compulsory courses to understand the rudiment behind election matters as well as statistics matters. There are philosophical concepts that really cling to that.
Thank you very much, sir. I was there at the groundbreaking of University of Fortuna, and of course I listened to the very wonderful speech you delivered there. I stand to be corrected. Your PhD in Cambridge is on capital debt accruals in Africa, Nigeria as a case study, and how poor debt management has ruined Nigeria's economy.
Well, I'm the first student in the life of University of Cambridge, 850 years old university, to be admitted for a doctorate degree in business, and that is management science. That degree was introduced some 7 years back. No student was admitted to it. We all applied, we had the turn out down. And I was turned down once, until I was eventually admitted. Now I'm the only student in that place. So I'm the first and the only student still in that degree, right now. Now I write my dissertation on large projects, why they fail and why they succeed. So I take for instance the case of Igbotako. Now link that to the question you asked about debt management. So for my thesis, you will find out that Igbotako will spend $6 billion on that. And then of course, we have not produced the first team in that place. Now, $6 billion is 30% of national debt. So Nigeria debt, is about 30 billion. So if you take $6 billion out of that, what does that represent? So you can see how much that looks like, about 20-something% of the national debt. Now let's take Shopee. We spent $5.5 billion on Shopee. That again is another 20% of Nigeria debt. Two projects is about 59% of the national debt. They had failed projects and abandoned. And we are still putting money on it. So again, that comes to statistics. Where is the data? So from my thesis, you probably will see that 11,896 federal government projects are abandoned. Now I don't know how many are abandoned at the state level, 36 states of the federation. I don't know how many are abandoned at the local government, 776 local governments. I'm not doing PhD on that. I'm doing PhD on just 40 of about 11,026 projects abandoned by the federal government. So, hey, there's a big opportunity here. So mostly that's where we have our problem. Maybe perhaps the success of Nigeria is hands or packed full by the evil in the abandoned projects. And that's exactly where we got it. And I've been privileged to talk to Mr. President General Buhari, who I interviewed, I spoke with about this, and then who give some sort of support in getting access to some of the data. Look at the Zigero project, 1.2 billion is put on that 700 megawatts of electricity in Niger State. We are still, project is still ongoing since Jonathan administration. You can keep mentioning. I interviewed Babangida on third Niger, second Niger in Lagos. And he's fantastic leader, did very well. He built that out of sheer courage, and he spent $1 billion, 30, 40 years ago building that, he told me. And then of course, you do realize that that was a successful project. I interviewed Jonathan on second Niger Bridge, of course, thank him also for giving me his time. So why do we spend $4.5 billion on Niger Bridge and we have not completed the bridge? What is the economic impact of that bridge to the people of the South and the Southeast? So these are the challenges that we have all over. So coming to debt issues, the debts, I can tell you, Nigeria is actually, debt ratio to GDP, we are fine. We have room to borrow much more money. to Dubai is only $148 billion. They have about the population of Dubai is about 12. The whole Emirate is 12 million people. Dubai probably about 5 million people. You know, so obviously speaking, they are owing $148 billion. Nigeria is 12 million people are owing less than $30 billion. But it's not about how much you owe, it's about the impact of the debt on the economy. You know, if you bring money and it goes to a bad project like Badagry Express, you know, then obviously speaking, you have some sort of blame to give. But we're coming up with some good solution. Preliminary report, people, the president, when I had the last meeting, don't spend on Araba of Ikale Land. Let's look at the cost of green fields of a similar project, you know, newly constructed. Assuming it's going to cost $1.2 billion. I did interview the administration in Igbotako, and he told me he can produce in that company if he gives $1.8 billion. Now, if setting up a new Igbotako is $1 billion, who will give you $1.8 billion to start production and the old factory? So obviously we are trying to look at this comparative analysis, and I'm talking to experts across India and Pakistan to know what does it cost, you know, on a new feed project to be able to come up with cost-benefit analysis, you know, in terms of.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Your progress written at the University of Cambridge was quite fantastic. All the secrets, sir?
No secret. So same thing with the University of Oxford, where I had my MSc Mega Project Management. My dissertation came with a distinction. So obviously, same thing with London School of Economics, where I'm doing my BSc. I'm now in the final year. My GP is 5.5 over 5.5. The secret is go and read. Don't allow anybody to distract you.
You seem to have energy to run so many programs like this.
Of course, you can do that. You sit down in your room and read at night. You are doing a PhD. What does it take you? When I was doing my master's in Oxford, I had admission to study MSc. To enter Oxford is difficult, you know that. So I was strategic about it. I knew from day one that it was difficult for me to use 20-year-old or Harvard degree to come and, or if a 30-year-old BSc or LLB to come and enter Oxford. So the first thing I did was to participate in the executive program, advanced leadership program for 30 days. I applied for that, of course. It's not a degree program, I was admitted, and I was top of my class. So rather than going for any picnic, I was dead in the books. So I contributed very actively in the class, and teachers were very happy. So when I now applied for postgraduate diploma in strategy and innovation, I asked one of my teachers to recommend me. He was very delighted. In fact, I told the other teacher that the two of them would recommend me 2 professors. So I was recommended that I was given the admission. I entered Oxford again, graduating from my executive program with the postgraduate program in strategy and innovation. After the first semester exam, written exam, I had the best result in strategy 70, innovation 70. I had 2 A's. So I told him, look, I don't need to complete this program any longer. I can now move to master's program. So I told the teacher that taught me innovation and strategy that I want to apply for master's. They were delighted to do my reference. They did my reference and I applied for master's in mega project management in Oxford. And then of course, I did the interview and then I was admitted for master's in mega project management. And then that is mega project means infrastructure project that is above $1 billion. How to manage airports, seaport, oil platform, how to manage those programs to be successful. So while I was in Oxford for the 1.5 year master's program, I went to Cambridge to apply for the MBA. And of course I went for interview. And Cambridge saw that I was already in Oxford and they asked me some terrible questions. I succeeded in passing the question of China. And then of course I was doing admission for MBA in Cambridge. So I combined the two together. We did 2005 and 2015 and 2017. Came out with distinction in 2 of it. And then of course I applied for the doctorate in Cambridge. And of course I applied to Harvard, I applied to Oxford, 3 of them, you know. And then I got admission first from Harvard, and I went to Harvard. And then 2 months while I was in class in Harvard, Cambridge gave me an offer of admission for the same doctorate in Malawi science. And then of course I quickly ran out of that. And then I was so excited, my colleagues celebrated me out with a lot of excitement and fun there. And then Harvard was asked, are you going to Cambridge? I said, yes, of course I'm going to Cambridge. You know, and then I went to Cambridge to learn to start this program. And it has been quite interesting. The program is very hectic, let me tell you. The requirement is that you cannot leave Cambridge in the first, in 32 weeks of the year, or year one. You cannot leave Cambridge at all. You can travel out without permission, you can do terminate. Now there are 6 courses you have to attend lectures on, and you write exam and then written exam, and you must pass above 60 mark. If you pass less than 60, you repeat for 1 year. If you get 50, you will go. So it's very hard. You know, we have research methodology, you have literature review, you have reading with supervisor, you have research into organization. Then we did that for 6 months. Then the last 6 months, here comes the most difficult course that take people off PhD in Cambridge. So we see most of my colleagues, we are 3 of us, others in PhD economics, PhD management, I'm in management science, you know, and then we all pass the first 6 months. But when we move to the next 6 months, we were asked to pass statistics. This is where we had the problem. Now statistics at PhD level. It's not a joke. You know, so I'm a lawyer by background. I don't know mathematics. Here is statistics, and advanced statistics. You either choose between statistics or econometrics. You know, so you must pass one of the 2 before you can commence, and you can finish year 1. If you fail, you just the pass mark is 60. Unfortunately, one of our young ladies that used to give us fruits and tea in the PhD room, painfully, we all shed tears. She got 60, 58, because she had to withdraw from the program. You know, despite the fact that she used to have 70, 72, 75 in the first 6 months, you know, in other courses. You know, so I have to go to I was clueless about this. When I pick attention of my statistic lecturer, looking at the variables, the p-value, the R-squares, the factorial analysis, the t-test and all that, then I have to go to the library and buy, to the bookshop and buy some elementary books in statistics first. Dummy, or statistics and all that. So I have an office in Cambridge at the university gave to me in the faculty. I was at the low, my office, so I locked up for 2 days. And then I was reading and crying because it was hard. You know, and you know, the white people, we don't just go to them and say, oh, can you explain this to me? You get embarrassed. What are you talking about? You don't know it. So you have to get all those things done. But as God will do it, I have 67 in statistics, so I nearly miss a distinction of my body first month in statistics itself. So I passed. So there was a written exam, which I had over 70. Then there is also an oral exam. The way PhD runs in Cambridge is that there will be a written exam and there will be oral exam. So in the oral exam, I think they asked me a question. They are the verge of giving me the 70. But the last question they said, and then the professor of statistics said, yes, Jimoh, well done, great job you are doing. Assuming that the independent variables come to be something insignificant in the result, 0.1, 0.2 minus, and all that, and you have 42 variables. This is always telling us that, you know, the p-value and the R-square are statistically insignificant. So what are you going to do to be able to come up with a message on the 42 independent variables that present an insignificant statistic result on -0 or -1? You know, so in p-value and R-square. Could you tell us what you are going to do? What is it that test you perform that will come up to say this is what we are still saying despite the misbehaviors of the independent variables? I didn't know this test that we need to do immediately, but I have passed all the 9 questions, and I told him, you know what? Since I have passed on 9 questions, this is 10th question. I can't claim to be an expert in statistics. You know, I don't think I have a clue about what test to conduct here. But he told me it's a t-test. So you have to do the t-test. That factorial analysis together of all the factors and come to make a statement that it might not be one specific variable that is responsible for this impact, but a combination of all sorts of variables. And since that time, I never forget the t-test. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, yes, sure. I've been meaning to ask, sir, you are an ex-Ife, a great Ife. In what way would you say your background as a great Ife has rubbed off on you, sir?
University of Ife is a great university, and I must commend the university for doing a good job. In the recent time, they are not doing well in the postgraduate certificate. I was disappointed when I interviewed a PhD student who cannot distinguish between a dependable variable and a independent variable. So I was wondering, what is it in PhD? You writing a PhD? In fact, he told me he got a PhD already, and I told him what the title of your topic, and he told me. And I said, what independent variable are you investigating? He didn't know, and it's from business school. It's from social science. So I reported to the vice chancellor, and I think they are putting some things together. The new PG college is putting some things together to see that the syllabus of the PhD research methodology is improved upon. And I've actually helped them in terms of front-loading some of the things that I think the students should do in research methodology. And then we'll title the course Advanced Research Methodology. And I think the BC is developing that with the PG School of Bulgarian Studies and with myself. And I think when the student will resume again for MSc and PhD, they will have a tough time in methodology. You can be sure of that, because the syllabus is very conk. They're going to go through econometrics very, very well, and social sciences. And those who are doing clinical trials, are going to look at lots of statistics, in terms of data collection to be able to make an empirical evidence, in terms of internal validity of the argument. So obviously, it's going to be a new area, that they will concentrate on. And the Vice Chancellor is doing a lot in making sure that there's improvement in methodology content. But due to other universities in Nigeria, I think they need to improve the methodology research. And I'm going to talk to the Executive Secretary of NUC. Is a professor, very brilliant professor, who have been to Cambridge, to Oxford, to understudy of Oxford when he was the Vice Chancellor of the university. I actually met him, being conducted around the university. He wasn't an executive at that time. So what we're going to do is to look at it at NUC level, what the content of methodology for PhD and master's should be. Because your PhD will not talk anything that is dependable after your graduation. If the methodology is weak, it will just look as if you haven't done a PhD. So you have to opt between empirical evidence or narrative. And if you are doing narrative, you want to quantify the survey so that we can see some bit of scientific investigation into that. And if we go all through for empirical evidence, then we have to do a clinical trial. And we have to look at it for quantitative methodology that you adopt and see what is the best strategy towards your clinical trial. So for instance, you have epidemics like COVID-19. What is COVID-19? It's a family of viruses that converge to present a dangerous disease. Now, we are used to all the viruses. What are the characteristics of the family of the viruses? The membership of that family. Sneezing, headache, cold, fever. We are used to all of them. That's why sometimes the COVID-19 is a laughable stock in Nigeria, because Nigerians are used to all the medicine that can kill the viruses that converge to become family of viruses, which is called COVID-19. So obviously, in time of clinical trial, you probably need to inflict COVID-19 to a set of animals, maybe 20,000, 10,000 animals, 10,000, for 1,000 animals, 1,000 animals. And then develop your vaccine and begins to adopt in one group without adopting the other group, and see how the reaction is. And then begin to take note of data every hour, every half an hour, every day, every half a day, every week, midweek. And you have to conduct that for the next 1 year before you can now say, here is the vaccine that I will use. That's why it's taking time to get the vaccine out that can actually cure COVID-19. So it might probably take maybe an average of 1.5 years of statistics scenario to be able to know, hey, here you go. But in the meanwhile, what you can do is to look at existing data on the members of the viruses that makes up COVID-19 and divide those data and begin to juggle figures and see whether you can come up with an emergency virus. If it doesn't work, then you have to go straight to clinical trial.
Thank you very much, sir. That is quite exposed there. We are in Ondo State. We are almost coming closer to another governorship election in Ondo State. You are a stakeholder in the body politic of Ondo State. I'd like to ask you, what is your take on 2020 governorship election in Ondo State? Well,
there are two scenarios. President has been generous that the election holds, Thanks to Buhari for that. Because ordinarily when you had epidemics like this, what you need to do is to declare sort of emergency. You know, because the characteristics of epidemic scenario like COVID-19, you know, vitiate electoral requirements. People cannot campaign. Electoral Act require you to campaign. Online campaign is not known by the Supreme Court, you know, by the Electoral Act and set by the Supreme Court. So again, we have to be careful so that the court will not nullify the election. You know, so this is a real problem we have at hand. Candidates are supposed to go into about 2/3 of the local government to campaign. There's supposed to be registration of voters and re-registration. There are some people that are below 16, 18 before the last election. Now they move up to above 18 in the last 4 years. They need to be incorporated into the electoral register. Otherwise, they are defranchised because that exercise will never take place because of COVID-19. Then again, party primaries cannot be online because the Electoral Act does not recognize online. That's why I said there are two scenarios. If it's a critical analysis of what needs to be done, a state of emergency, an administrator appointed, and then of course, when things become normal, we conduct election. Again, Aketi is elected the 24th of February 2021. How do you terminate his tenure now? Will it come under doctrine of frustration, you know, by the epidemic of COVID-19? That's another basket of argument. Now, if you don't do that, which Buhari says, oh, let's go into the election. Fine, fantastic. You know, maybe it become a liberal now. You know, so liberalists are talking about collaborative and then, of course, cooperation to create peace in the international order. You know, so in Ondo State, if you go to the election with all these shortcomings, you know, which the court can hang on to nullify the election, then you have to find out what should the party do. The logical thing for the party to do is to remove the complexity, the convergence of complexities around the election at this time and situation. Possibly adopt the existing candidate for the election. And I think that's what the president is looking at. So adopt the candidate in Edo, adopt the candidate in Ondo, and then the governorship candidate for APC. PDP can go and get their own candidate from the moon, you know, or wherever they get it from as usual. You know, they won't get candidate on about 3 days to election as usual. You know, so mostly speaking, then we can have peace in the state, and then of course the present government may continue to be in office. And I think that is the most logical thing to do. If you don't want that, then you might have to declare, look at the emergency act, the emergency situation created by the government.
What's your assessment of Governor Nuaroti Akeredolu's governance in the past?
Oh, he's doing well. He didn't borrow 200 billion naira like Bimeko did. Bimeko left the debt of 200 billion for this small state. That is very killing. So if he had gone to borrow 200 billion naira, I drop my card for him. And again, he talks straight. People don't like that. They want you to deceive, they want people to deceive them. If you cannot do something for you, you say I cannot do for you. It doesn't mean it's absolute. Aketi is an incomplete leader to the extent that he has his weaknesses and his strengths. I'm an incomplete leader. I do have my weaknesses and my strengths. I'm not a complete human being at all. In fact, I work on my weaknesses every day so as for me to become effective. And that is the really logical way to do it. So you may not like him in a certain area, but the fact that he's not compromising your future, I think is coming.
That's quite interesting. Finally, sir, Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim.
I thought we were going to cut off that. Go ahead.
This is the final one anyway. You're a businessman, international businessman. You are a philanthropist. You are a politician. What is the political future for Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim?
My principle of life is let go, let God. Let go and let God. There is something you bring to this world and there is something you cannot throw away. But let go and let God. If people offend me, I let go and let God. If I fail in the business, I let go and let God. If I succeed in business, I say let go and let God. If I run an election, I fail, let go and let God have his way. You know, so Augustus became, I am full with that, I'm deeply fomented in that scenario of let go and let God. Let God have his way. So obviously, I am not desperate. There is nothing to be desperate about being a governor of Ondo State. I have access to advise the governor. There is any governor that I don't do anywhere I call. They take my call at one call. If they don't take it, they return my call back to me. That's enough for me. And I can change any governor's policy. I've called the governor who mentioned is in the east. He said he's a friend of mine. He wanted to do something, I told him he should not do it. And he didn't do it. He started. I've called Governor Mimiko before. Put me on the line. He wanted to probe Agabu. He set up the machinery for the probe. They were to resume the next day. And I told him, I called him on the road. I was on my way to Lagos, in Nekwe. I was in Nekwe, and I called him, where are you? And he said, he's with Coyote. My father's burial, I make it. And I said, I understand you are probably like I go tomorrow, don't do it. And of course, as bad as things are between me and him, you may want to think, he considered it that he disbanded the partner, and I never put on that. I told him, don't do it. You cannot do it. Nobody has ever proved a succeeding governor. Don't try what you cannot finish. It will not work. It's my advice. Hang on to it. And he said, he called me my GMD. And he said, my GMD, I've had it. And I called Agago immediately. I drove from Governor Mimiko. And I called Agago and I told him, where are you, sir? Are you, sir, for Agago from Mimiko? I think we are just too close to each other and we're at each other. We are love, what better of good fellow. And then we just rap on ourselves and we enjoy it so much. So I called Agago and I called him and I said, sir, where are you? He said he's on his way to Akure for the tomorrow trial. And I said, what about your lawyer? He said they are ahead. Fact with me and Atitola are already in Akure. I told him the trial will not hold. He said, how, Araba? I said, I called him not to do it. And I'm too sure he will not do it. I didn't. You know, so I've called President Jonathan before. I told him certain things, you know, he should not do it. As a president of Nigeria, he didn't do it. So what honor do you want to get? You know, so I remember there was time some people came for tax in my office and they were making noise downstairs. And I didn't owe any tax. And in Lagos. And they came with television and all that. I was surprised. What is all these people coming from? I called Egwombola Tinubu and I said, there are some rascals from your place here. He said, he was governor of Lagos State. And I said, you know I don't owe tax. I pay. And these people come with television. He said, give the phone to the person in charge. And I gave it to that woman in charge. And he told her to disappear from there. Not to see the contribution this guy is making to the economy. What are you doing there? And in 2 seconds, after the television, not that I'm taking advantage. I know that I cannot take advantage that they give me. You know, so what is it? Even if I take advantage, so advantage I created for him and being not for animals. So obviously speaking, they going to disappear from there. So there are many things I could help, I could say. You know, so obviously to become governor, maybe it's going to be a burden, I don't know. You know, so to me that's why I said I can let go and let go. So I don't really bother myself anymore about it. If it comes, fine. If the people want me, they will come and ask me. If they don't need me, there's no need bother myself. Whoever they need, I will always support. You know, church friend. You know, all of them are my friends. Look at Olusola, fantastic young man. You know, I call Ebon. You know, so nice guy. And they have never insulted Akiti. You know, if this contestant insulting assistant governor, don't come near my door because it doesn't come from us. When Mimiko was governor, despite the fact that we were fighting, it wasn't personal. I never abused him as a person. I only told him, you've done your 8 years, you cannot install Jegede. And my reason against Jegede is that Jegede had never informed the stakeholders in Ondo State that he wants to be governor. And if you don't inform the stakeholder, we cannot by any imagination be giving you support. When you don't, if you cannot inform us when you are contesting, is it when you become governor that you come and ever recognize that we exist? And you know these bourgeois, they are capable of frustrating your ambition with any small money. They just make sure you will never be, and they still have that contention. So if you don't inform people, you know, how do you want to be governor? How will you be governor? You know, when I was contesting, people like Baba Olajimoke, I informed him. People like Oguneya, I went to him. Most of our leaders, I went around them, Obas. I went around them to inform them, sir, I want to be governor. What's your view? Some say yes. One of the Oba in this place said, what am I doing with that? You know, and all that. Everybody, people have different divergent opinion. You know, but you need to inform them. Even by letter writing. When President Buhari wanted to be governor, he informed all of us. President, he informed us. Jonathan used to send car to every home, everybody, every bourgeoisie during the Christmas, December, Eid Padri, all these Muslim, yeah. You will see Jonathan's card sent to you. Baba Obasanjo, that one is a complete different human being. You know, you call him at 9, he takes your call. He will call you back. He will listen to you. There was time he wanted to go and campaign in Kano. I said, Baba, you cannot go. He said, oh, but yeah, I'm going there. He went there, they pursued him with this Malam Daga. He ran away. He got back to Abuja. He called me, Jimoh, where are you? I said, I'm in my office. Be on your way to the villa. Baba, he said, what I said is true. But I was member of AMPP. I knew they are planning for you in Kano. They will kill you. And I told you not to go. And you decided to go. After that, if I call him and say, okay, you know, as a son, he will listen to me. Know that I'm very important. Know that. But again, if I have some superior knowledge in a subject matter better than you, why don't you listen? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, viewers, I've been on the set with Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim, and of course, it has been an interesting moment here. We have listened to a whole lot of issues as regards the nation's economy, the nation's education, and politics. Of course, this is one-on-one on Ondo Events with Barrister Jimoh Ibrahim. Thank you very much for
Thank you very much.
That will be all. Keep watching one-on-one with Ondo Events.